Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Zainab. And thank you so much, Sanam, for the invitation. And to the speakers who've gone ahead both yesterday and today, some really powerful messages and really, really wonderful to see some of the insights that have been shared. So my session for you is going to be talking about strategic empowerment through innovation and AI, and how this can be a tool for us to balance power. And so let me just share this with you. Okay, hopefully you can all see my screen. There we go.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So we're going to just move on. So we're in a new era of leadership, and AI is something that is enabling this. I think it is bringing greater equality, capability, and at the same time freeing up the capacity of people to innovate more greatly. But as we do that, those core skills of empathy, of compassion, and the skills of feminine leadership or relationship leadership become much more important. So the why of Game Changer is to look at people, purpose, planet, the triple bottom line, also profit. Good business is good business. And I think building on some of what Ron shared earlier, you know, business success follows us doing the right thing. And more women coming to the table in terms of as entrepreneurs, as business leaders, as heads of government, and playing a role in government roles, as we see, particularly in Saudi Arabia, where they're making excellent strides in terms of women's empowerment in the workplace in the last 8 years, certainly as I've observed working with the region. This is really unleashing purpose-led organizations. I think if we'd have tried to talk about purpose-led organizations 15, 20 years ago, people would have focused back to profit. People now, through the great work of the SDGs and that becoming a core part of corporate strategy, now part of corporate reporting requirements in many countries, is leading this shift to creating businesses, organizations, government structures that support humanity, that support well-being. So we're values-led by design and intention. And that's exactly what we need in other organizations. When I look at teaching digital strategy, we look at the why of why a strategy is being developed. And when that is being developed, we must really question, is what we're doing ethical? Is it the right thing? Is it something that is going to actually not just reduce costs, but actually empower people to have meaningful work? So I really do encourage the companies and organizations that I work with to look at the judicious use of technology, not necessarily jumping into technology because it's what everybody's doing. Now, I'm old enough to remember the wave in the late 90s, early days of the internet, early days of website, early days of e-commerce. And certainly when apps came in, why do we need an app? Because our competitors have it. Actually, no, we need to develop apps to connect people. Likewise with AI, what is the problem that we're solving? How is it helping us protect people, detect fraud, improve security, as our colleagues shared earlier today, in terms of making the internet and the world itself a safer place for others? So when we bring female leadership into the equation of this answer of who gets to use the power, who gets to shape the future, and we include women in the design of that, it leads to better outcomes. So right now, it's progress, but it's slow. Only 27 of nearly 200 countries have women as either the head of state or head of government. We are seeing more women in government and senior government cabinet roles, influencing the decision making, but it's nowhere near enough. So the imbalance is not just unjust, it's inefficient, and it doesn't necessarily lead to consideration of the best outcomes. Balanced leadership matters because with this we can lead from compassion. We can begin to consider equity. Are the policies, are the products we're designing creating the best outcomes for all people? And I deliberately put outcomes there because it is about measurement. It is about hard measures and evidence-based outcomes that we can point to. And I'm hoping that some of the research that we see coming from economies where we're seeing greater participation of female leaders begins to evidence this business case that actually the balanced leadership supports the well-being, prosperity of economies, but also the well-being of the people. And AI can support us in that, but our design considerations must be human first. Where are we improving the experience for people? So as we encourage women in STEM, algorithms that we build will only be as fair, as bold, and as transformative as the people designing and deploying them. And that requires diversity, not just women, but also other marginalized voices, other groups that may be excluded, need to be included. And it's very, very pleasing to see the support for that through this summit. If we don't do that, what we can see are biased results, and these can be dangerous to an extent. The things we saw with the financial crash, you may be familiar with the research that said if we had a higher proportion of female leaders, female risk managers in that situation, the subprime crisis would never have had the terrible impacts that it did on many, many economies. But at a more basic level, recruitment biases, there's research done on the early AI models that were used in the early 2000s, where they were recruiting for salespeople. And what we found is because the typical profile of a sales leader was a midlife male, normally from a white background, that was what the algorithms were giving. So now we've got to be very mindful in design that what we do is engineer out biases. What we see in many governments is looking at consideration of impact assessments when something is deployed, when a new technology or project is deployed. Is it screened for impact assessment? Will it have biases that impact women or other marginalized voices? So empowerment, if it is to be strategic, must absolutely be inclusive. So the call to action for those of us here, we need to design for difference, not around it. We don't need to think around the edges. We need to actually think holistically at the start of initiatives that we design. And we need to build more than just products. We need to build ecosystems, and these need to be based upon trust, equity, and foresight, that innate wisdom that we find comes so naturally and intuitively to women. So this means diverse leadership at every table. And that is right from the design and the coding to women ensuring that we develop the skills of AI governance, that we're there to participate in the C-suite and in the strategy rooms. So having recently moved from London to the UAE and with my work with the GCC, one of the things that I'm particularly passionate about is empowering women on boards, getting more women stepping into board level roles. And you'll see why from some of the figures from the UK shortly. But where it starts is with AI literacy. It's allowing ourselves not to be left behind. It's learning. And that learning also starts in education, in the classroom with younger children, in the home, in our families, as well as in our organisations. So why we need to step up, the FTSE Women Leaders Review of last year showed that women now hold over 42% of board roles in the UK, but just 15% of executive director roles. Now, that is mirroring a problem from the early 2000s, something called the Golden Skirts in the Netherlands, where a small group of women held multiple board roles and were what we call overboarded. where the decisions are really made in organisations, they may be approved by the board, but at the executive level, you can still see we don't have the pipeline that we need in senior management roles. That is something, if it's happening in the UK, when we've had many years of focus on women in senior leadership and women on boards, it's also something that we have globally. So I think we need to do more in terms of that board preparation. I think that comes down to confidence and it comes down to skill set. It's encouraging women to step into the financial ownership roles, the strategic roles, beyond perhaps the traditional sales and marketing roles that perhaps we sometimes find ourselves pigeoned into. Research from McKinsey and Credit Suisse is showing that companies with higher female representation at the top consistently outperform their peers, both on return on equity, but also in terms of risk management and creating shareholder value. And 2,400 global companies studied found that those with female CFOs were more likely to have strong stock performance in the years following their appointments, so very much echoing the research that came out after the banking crash of 2008. So in risk-intensive sectors, which obviously technology clearly is, but also those of finance and energy, we've been statistically shown to take more considered and sustainable risks, and this balances the short-term returns with long-term stability. So I think it's in our nature as nurturers to be the stewards, to be the curators, to look at the long-term impacts of decision. I do believe that that is genuinely a more feminine approach to leadership that we need to see more of. And I'm not saying, that men are not capable of this, as we've seen by our speakers. Very much these are skills that men can also have in abundance, but it is opening the way for a more long-term strategic view, particularly when it comes to designing performance and reward in company organisations that we want to shift.
Sorry to interrupt in between. Actually, we are short of time, so yeah, please, if you can.
I will just wrap up if I may. So the reason female leadership matters, it's our children, it's our world, it's our future. And just in closing, you matter. Every one of you attending today, I think as Ms. Sanam said at the beginning, we spoke about gifts. You have gifts, you have the skills, you have the things that only you can uniquely do. You have your passion, but most importantly, you have your voice. So I would invite you to amplify that, whether it's through writing, whether it's through speaking. Please, please step up and be that role model of female leadership.
Thank you so much, Ms. Laura. Thank you for joining, and thank you for such a wonderful presentation and giving so much confidence to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Now let's move on to our next guest, Ms. Amal Barkat. She's a strategic leader with 808 plus years of experience in. She's a strategic leader with 8+ years of impact in digital transformation, education, innovation, and global empowerment programs for women and youth. Holding advanced diploma in strategic management and executive leadership, along with certifications in AI integration and digital skills, she blends authentic leadership with future-oriented innovation. As COO of the African Youth Renaissance Center, Amal has spearheaded transformative initiatives that integrate AI and cross-cultural leadership into C-level inclusive programs. Passionate about equity in STEM, she designed pathways that empower undeserved communities, especially women. Let's welcome Ms. Amal Barkat with us.
Okay. All right. Ms. Amal is with us. Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
We're happy to
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nasria. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Heartfelt thanks to Sana for the kind invitation to speak at this inspiring summit. It's really an honor to be among such a brilliant global lineup of speakers. The session before mine have been rich, insightful, and deep inspiring. What you've created here is remarkable, and the future is being shaped right here. It is an honor to be with you today to speak about Africa, leadership, and our digital future. I come from Algeria, but I speak as a part of a large African voices, a continent full of young people, idea, and energy. So Africa is not waiting for future. Africa is the future, actually.
Okay, that's great. Miss Aman, I would just take your 2 minutes because we just forgot to announce about the awardees. So we just want to announce their names.
All
and
right.
you can continue.
Okay.
Yes. Ms.
Okay.
Anna,
I will.
play the slide of their names. Yes. Because
Yes, ma'am. Wait a minute. I should go to day number 2 because
Yes.
we were present in order 1, so that's why.
yes. You know, Amal is not only a speaker, she's a great human being. She's such a beautiful soul.
She's helping us out behind the scenes.
She is behind the scene hero. She's such a supportive lady. Yes.
Never mind, my dear. I'm here.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. So we are done till Miss Jessica. What's her name? Yes. Miss Desi. Okay. Now we have Miss Ramsha. Okay. Ramsha Sohail. Yes, Ramsha, if you are with us, congratulations. If not, then you can, just check your name later on. And then you have been announced as the Being Woman, the change maker. You are the awardee. Now, the other one is, yes, Sarah Noman. Yes, Sarah, if you are with us, congratulations. She's one of our trainer as well for Mind Matters Fellowship. And she is, other than that, she is a wonderful person and she is, adding value in so many people. Sarah Noman, congratulations. Yes. And the other one is Miss Anisa Shah. Anisa Shah is a psychology graduate and education advocate with experience in mental health awareness, as we really need people and who work for mental health, because it's very crucial the time which we have been through. Mental health is very important, and all those people who are working for it definitely deserve to be nominated and to be as the awardee. And she is working as on the Prime Minister National Youth Council, and currently contributing as a holistic curriculum developer. Yes, Anisa, congratulations. And yes, we have Arbia. Arbia is shortlisted for it. MashaAllah. Arbia, congratulations. Because he has been with us for so many, training programs. I know her. She's such a beautiful lady. She's a mother. She is very much, conscious and curious about learning. She keeps on learning and return back to the society. Yes, Arbia. And the other one is, yes, Anna. Sanam Musawwir. It's not me. It's Sanam Musawwir. Congratulations. Beautiful lady. You are being selected for this award, Being Woman, the Change Maker, as per the story and the experiences you have shared with us. Yes, congratulations. I don't know whether I'm not able to see the names.
Miss Urwa Ibrahim.
Arwa Ibrahim, congratulations. She's a certified AI prompt engineer and social media marketing specialist who has trained over 50 entrepreneurs to create content that sells. That's great. Congratulations, Arwa. And we have Matani Ahmed, right? See, they all are from different part of the world. It's not only from Pakistan. I mean, the people and the women we have basically selected for this award, it's like from every part of the world. I mean, they belong to different countries. Yes. Congratulations, Mitani. If you're with us, happy to see you here. Yes. Puratulan. Congratulations, Puratulan. Yes. I feel, at young ages, they are making such kind of changes and, adding value in this age. I got so old. I have just, wasted so much time, I feel. At this age, they are creating, value for the people and to the society. Rimsha, yes, Rimsha. Rimsha is one of our trainers as well. Rimsha Zahir Ali Shah is a climate activist, writer, and bioscientist. Congratulations, Rimsha. We have Dr. Ruksar. Dr. Ruksar is a physiotherapist and psychologist, again dedicated to gender equality. Congratulations, Ruksar. Hasama Shabros. Congratulations. Zainab, if you can play the slide of Mariam, because she actually just...
Okay, ma'am. Let me check it. I think
Yes.
it's in the last, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yep. I have to see it.
All right.
Wait
All
a
right.
minute.
We have so many others, but I just want to see her slide. Yeah, Kaina.
Okay.
Yes.
So here is Mariam.
Yes, Mariam, congratulations if you are with us. Happy to see you here. Yes, Zainab. Sorry, not Zainab. Mariam. Yes, Mariam. Happy to see and happy for you that you are not only nominated, but you are the awardee of this Being Woman the Changemaker Award.
Hi,
Congrats.
Sanam.
You are with us. Yes,
Yeah,
Mariam.
I'm here. Thank you very much for this recognition. I'm grateful to you, and it was a great session. I've heard it. Thank you very much for this.
You're welcome, Mariam. Thank you. Zainab, after her, we have Shireen, I think.
Okay, ma'am. I'm
Yes,
going
just,
to have slides.
and then we can continue with Amal. Okay. If not, that's okay. We can call her name later on. Yes, Shireen. Congratulations, Shireen. You are doing amazing work. She is from the mountains, from Gilgit-Baltistan, and she is the media representative, like the place where it's very difficult to work in media, and she has been working and empowering women in Gilgit.